Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft. I got a little bit of an update for you. As you know, I've been using the Masterwoodsman now for well over a year. And it is my go-to, absolute favorite knife. And I've done several videos talking about that knife. And I've also done a video about this sheath. Now, William, whenever I got the knife from him, had included a Kydex sheath, which is a great sheath. Holster sheath, but it's a little stiff for me. You know, I do use that sheath, especially when I'm going to lock the knife into it and put it in the bottom of a pack, or if I'm going to be, canoeing, and I've done it several times where it's a very solid sheath and I don't have to worry about it coming out. Okay, well, I'm a leather guy. I'm old school, and so I had found on eBay this sheath, and I modified it, and I did a video about me modding it to make it work with the Masterwoodsman. But it never really, it was functional, it was good, but it wasn't what I was really after. Now, I went to the Pathfinder gathering, not this year, but last year. Me and Roger went up to it. And that's where I met Dan Lutz, and Dan was at the camp of a gentleman by the name of Randy Smith. And Randy runs a site called stitchgear.com, and he had these great leather sheaths. I mean, really, really nice leather sheaths. And I felt lust in my heart. Well, at that time I did not have this Masterwoodsman. I had, as you recall, the Masterwoodsman very first prototype, and that knife was a little bit different design, and I ended up making a deal and that knife going to Dan Lutz. Well, then I had got this Masterwoodsman, and I kept thinking about those sheaths that Randy had. High quality leather, heavy saddle leather, one of them sheaths that's going to last the rest of your life. You'll never have to worry about it. And so this year in October, whenever I went to the Bushcraft Rendezvous in Mississippi, the VOO as we call it, I got to reacquaint myself with Randy because he was there, and we talked quite a bit. And William Collins, the maker of this knife, he is going to be getting Randy to make some leather sheaths for the Masterwoodsman, and we talked and we worked out a deal. Now, my particular Masterwoodsman is the Masterwoodsman Mark I prototype. It's slightly different in length and slightly different in shape and the grip, because William made it for me, and from this you get the Mark I. So I made a deal with Randy, and I shipped him my knife so that he could wet mold it perfectly to fit the sheath, and it does. It ain't going nowhere. Slides right in, right out, no problem, but it's a nice secure fit. He has the 1/2 inch ferro rod loop on the side of it. I'm gonna get you up close in a minute, don't worry. But it's the carry system that I like. One, I love the heavy leather, the heavy saddle leather. Love it. This will last the rest of my life. It's not gonna get hurt to get it wet, get it hot. It's not gonna come apart easy. If you accidentally sit on it outside of the knife, it's not gonna warp it and you're never gonna get it back to fit right. Heavy saddle leather has a purpose, and this is one of my favorite uses for heavy saddle leather, is a high quality nice sheath. Now, let me talk about Randy's carry system. You have the 2 buckles here, and then you have this drop loop on the back. My standard carry is like this. Now, when I'm going to be carrying a long gun, I carry my knife on my right side. And so with this belt loop, I can carry it easily on my right side of my belt, and it drops down about the right height. On the other end of this loop is another loop that hooks to this bottom. I could invert this, and that would be a little bit shorter loop that would pull it down and make the knife ride a little bit higher, giving me an option. Also, right through here, as you can see, I can run a big, like one of those military issue duty belts, or web gear belts can go through here, so I can carry it when I'm wearing big winter clothing. I can carry it like that. Also, with these snaps, I can unsnap it and reverse it to the other side. because if I'm going to be carrying a sidearm over here on the right hand side and I'm going to be hunting and I might need to pull it quickly, I'll be carrying my knife on my left side. So I can easily go snap, snap, swap sides, and it becomes a left hand carry. Also, as you're already figured out, with those snaps I can run my belt through here and carry it upright, upside down, however I want, left or right, as a scout carry at the small of my back. I'm not a big fan of that carry. I have tried it, I have used it a couple of times, and there were certain instances it was the way to go. So this one sheath gives me all of my options that I need in one sheath. Where before I had the Kydex for this, I had this sheath for a standard carry, I had another sheath I could put it into. I got one now. And this one is probably going to last me the rest of my life. So hold on, let me zoom the camera in up close so you can get some good detail on this. Like I said, William is going to be having Randy make Masterwoodsman knife sheaths to sell with his knives. So you're going to see more of these type, or a couple other designs he's got sheaths coming out with the Masterwoodsman. But let me zoom in. Okay, here's your close-up of it. Now, Masterwoodsman fits in there, and he has wet molded it to perfectly fit. Now, on the side of the sheath, you have the ferrule rod loop, and he'll make it to whichever size you want. In this case, we asked for the 1/2 inch, because this is my big main one that I use. Now we've got the 2 snaps, and these are good heavy-duty snaps. And then there is the dangler on the back. Like I said, small loop on this end, bigger loop, and then the biggest loop. I can, if need addresses, turn it into a full dangler like this. And about the only time I'd wear it like that would be if it was dead of winter and I'm wearing some, like a capote or something, and I just need to hang it off of me. I can hang it. The snaps work very well. Like I said, I can invert it and come up here and do it so that it would be for a really small, like, dress belt, or if I was going to run a line through this and anchor it to a pack up close real tight, I could do it this way. Usually you're going to put it with a big loop up top, but you know. Now, let me snap that. Snaps are tough. Okay, here would be the scout carry like design. We've got your 2 loops to go small of the back. And the knife would go in like so and be easily accessed, and this would go onto your belt loops with that ferrule rod up top. Just like that. I've got a little bungee cord like rig that I do to keep mine securely in place. Now, as far as the stitching, get in position. You can see this is high quality stitching on this, guys. I mean, really. How thick that welt is right there. You are not, even though I keep my Masterwoodsman razor sharp, I am not ever going to cut that stitches with that big thick welt right there. And it's riveted in the middle, so it's not going to flex and come apart in that. And there's Randy's mark right there. I like the fact that this corner has been squared off. This is going to carry very well on my hip. I can, like I said, carry it in any configuration I want. This one sheath is going to handle all my carry options for this knife now. I ain't got to constantly be thinking what I'm going to be doing and what would be better suited for the given situation. Plus, I mean, A, the quality of it is awesome. B, the price was very reasonable for what it was. And 3, this will probably last me the rest of my life. I'll never have to buy another sheath again. Short of losing it, I'll never have to buy another sheath for the Masterwoodsman. This will be it. So, one and done. That's the way to do this. So, now that we've got that figured out, the old sheath, I'll probably strip the gear off of it you know, my fire starters and everything else, my little tool kit, my fishing kit and sewing kit I had in there. And I'll take it and, you know, throw it in the trade box. Next year when I go back to the 4th primitive rendezvous in Mississippi, I'll throw it on the trade blanket. Maybe somebody will want it. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to give it a really good coat of preservative. I use a mix that's tallow and heavy mineral oil, and it does a really good job. Yes, it's going to darken the leather. That's fine. I like that well-oiled leather look. But now that I've got a chance to show it to you, now I'm going to go through and give this thing a real good heavy-duty coating to protect it and set it up to be there for the next 10 years or more. If you're interested in getting a sheath for your Master Woodsman, or if you're thinking about getting a Master Woodsman, I recommend you look at Randy's stuff. I recommend you go look at Williams' knife, of course. And I really think this is going to be something that you'll be very happy with. I know I have been extremely happy with the knife from day one, and it's just grown on me. It really has. It's got to the point now that when I had to send my knife off to Randy for about a week while he wet formed, I'll get it out in a minute, guys, wet formed the knife, I felt naked. I went out and tried to do a couple of things for a video, and I was trying to use my Condor bush lower that I'd used for 2 years. And I'll be honest with you, it was like night and day. I have become so accustomed and so used to the Master Woodsman being an extension of me that when I picked up that other knife, it was just awkward. I mean, it was still familiar. I still knew what I'd do, but it was just, you know, it's like in a pair of boots that you've wore forever and they're custom fit to your feet, and then you go put on another pair of boots. It's okay, but it ain't the right one. Yeah. Thank y'all for your support. If you're looking for a sheath, any kind of leather work, Randy, oh, by the way, I think my next purchase from Randy is going to be, he's got this waterproof leather tender bag. First time I saw one was on Dave Canterbury's table when I was at the Pathfinder gathering. He had one. And so I think that's going to be my next purchase from Randy. Is I want one of them tender pouches. Be very handy for throwing in the pack for that very wet weather. Looks traditional, you know, and I'm a leather guy, what the heck. But I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.